Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time, we're going to be looking at effective learning strategies.
Yeah.
And, you know, as someone who listens to this show, you're probably already someone who really enjoys learning new things.
Absolutely.
And this deep dive is going to give you some tips and tricks to make your learning even better.
Yeah. It's going to be fun.
So to guide us on this deep dive, we're going to be looking at a story about a student named Emma.
Okay.
And
I love that name.
Yeah, Emma's story is going to give us some really cool insights about how to learn.
For sure.
And to really get into the nitty-gritty, we're going to be using a source called Fear Kwan Fuddy.
Okay. Interesting.
And we're going to be focusing on an excerpt that talks about language learning at the A1 level.
Okay. Yeah. That's where it all starts, right?
Exactly.
Like you need that good foundation.
Yeah. And even if you're not learning a language right now, I think the strategies in this excerpt can really apply to
any kind of learning.
I agree.
You know, whether you're trying to learn a new skill or pick up a new hobby.
Totally.
These strategies can be super helpful.
Sure.
So let's dive in then.
All right. So the excerpt starts off
Yeah.
with this really cool analogy.
Okay. I love analogies.
Yeah, me too.
Lay it on me.
It compares learning to building a house.
Okay. I like it already.
Right. And I think this resonates so well with, our listeners because we know you guys really value having a solid foundation of knowledge.
That's what it's all about.
So just like you need strong bricks and mortar to build a sturdy house, you need consistent practice to build that
foundation.
Solid foundation of knowledge.
Yeah.
Right.
Good analogy.
And Emma, the student we're following in this excerpt,
okay,
she really gets this.
Oh, good for her.
She doesn't just passively read or listen. She's really actively building
Oh, that's good. I like that.
this knowledge.
Or tell me what she's doing.
So she does things like reviewing her notes.
Good.
She writes sentences.
Nice.
She practices conversations.
Smart.
Plays word games.
Ooh, fun.
Watches videos.
Oh, yeah. Gotta love those.
And even reads simple books.
Oh, wow. She's going all in.
Yeah, she's using all the tools in her toolbox to build up that knowledge.
Yeah, I like that.
And what I think is so fascinating is that she's not waiting for someone to hand her these materials.
Okay.
She's going out there and finding them herself.
Oh, wow. So she's really taking charge of her learning.
Yeah, like a good builder.
Exactly.
She's not just waiting for someone to do it for her.
Self-reliance.
Yeah, and I think about the times I've tried to learn something just by reading about it.
Oh, yeah.
And it never quite sticks.
You got to get your hands dirty.
It's like trying to build a house without touching the bricks, right? It just doesn't.
I like that, yeah.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
You got to get in there.
You got to get in there and do it. Absolutely.
So I want to hear more about what Emma is doing.
Yeah.
What are those
specific activities?
Specific activities.
Yeah, how is she structuring her learning?
Okay, so she's got this English notebook.
Okay, nice.
Where she writes down new words and phrases.
Oh, that's good.
But she doesn't stop there.
Okay, so what else is she doing?
She reads each word aloud.
Oh, wow.
And then she tries to use it in a sentence that she writes.
That's a good idea.
So she's not just memorizing the definition. She's really making the language her own.
Oh, I love that.
Creating something new with it.
That's so key.
And I think that's so crucial for any kind of learning.
Absolutely.
It's about taking ownership of the information and transforming it from something you're just trying to remember into something you can actually use.
Exactly.
And then she takes it a step further.
Okay, tell me.
She has these little mini conversation sessions with her friend Lucy.
Okay.
And they just practice simple greetings and everyday phrases.
I love that. Yeah.
Might seem small, but it's like a testing ground.
Yeah.
For her learning.
For sure.
She's applying the knowledge in a real world context.
Even if it's just with a friend.
Yeah,
that's huge.
And I think it really helps build her confidence.
For sure. Confidence is so important.
Yeah. And speaking of confidence.
Yeah.
The excerpt also talks about how Emma really gets a boost from
what?
Those little wins.
Oh, I love that.
Those small victories.
Small victories.
If she answers a question correctly in class, or if she writes a paragraph about her day, and she gets it right, those little things really
make a big difference.
Motivate her to keep going.
They do.
And I think that's something we can all learn from.
Absolutely.
it's so easy to get caught up
Yeah.
in the big picture
Yeah.
and feel discouraged if we're not making like huge leaps forward.
For sure.
But it's those small steps
Yes.
that really add up over time.
That's where it's at.
Right.
Those small wins.
And so another thing that Emma does
Okay.
that I think is so important
Yeah.
is she's not afraid to ask for help.
Oh, that's a good one.
Like when she's confused about something,
Yeah.
she asks questions.
Good.
She uses a dictionary.
Nice.
You know, she doesn't just pretend like she understands.
I love that. Yeah, that's so important.
And I think it's so easy to do that,
Yeah.
right? We're in a classroom
Yeah.
or we're reading something
Yeah.
and we kind of nod along.
Yeah.
But deep down,
But you don't really get it.
we're like,
Yeah.
I don't really know what's going on.
And you're too afraid to ask.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
But Emma's not afraid
Good for her.
to say,
Yeah.
hey, I don't get this.
I need help.
Can you explain it to me?
And that takes courage.
It does.
It really does.
And it shows that she's really committed
Yeah.
to actually understanding the material.
Absolutely.
And so I want to hear more
Okay.
about those other proactive
Yeah.
things that she's doing
What other cool stuff is she doing?
to really take charge of her learning.
Yeah, I'm hooked. Well, she actually went to the library
Oh, wow.
and picked out a book in English.
That's pretty ambitious.
Yeah. Especially for someone who's just starting out, you know,
Right.
at the A1 level.
Yeah, like it'd be so tempting to just stick to,
Yeah.
like, you know,
Simple stuff.
workbooks or something.
Yeah.
But she's like,
She's diving in.
yeah.
I love that.
And I think it speaks to
That does.
her willingness to
Yeah.
embrace those challenges.
Embrace the challenge.
Right. And to,
Yeah. And to recognize that discomfort often signals growth,
yeah.
you know?
It's like that saying,
Yeah.
the only way to do new things
Yeah.
is to do new things.
It's so true.
And she's really living that.
She is.
So
yeah.
tell me about this book.
Okay, so it wasn't a textbook.
Okay.
It wasn't a simple reader.
Okay.
It was a book about animals
Oh, cool.
around the world.
So she's connecting
Yeah.
her English learning
Mm-hmm.
with something she's already interested in.
Exactly. She's making it relevant.
That's so smart.
It is.
Because it gives her that motivation
Yeah.
to keep going.
The intrinsic motivate.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And then
What does she do?
she comes back to class
Okay.
and she tells her friends
Oh, that's awesome.
about what she learned.
So she's teaching,
She's teaching,
which is
one of the best ways
absolutely one of the best ways to learn.
to learn.
Yeah.
And she's also sparking
Yeah.
their interest
These are interesting.
in learning about animals too.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think that highlights
Yeah.
something really important about learning in general.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be the solitary pursuit,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
Like you can learn with friends.
Yeah.
You can learn by teaching.
It's more fun that way.
Way more fun.
So
Yeah.
in class, they also do this activity
Okay.
called Teach Your Friend.
Oh, I like this.
Tell me about it.
Emma has to explain
Okay.
how to use is and are to Lucy.
Nice.
And I think this is such a clever way
It is.
to kind of encourage that peer learning.
It is. And sometimes,
Yeah.
you know, explaining something to someone else
Yeah.
is what makes it click.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like I know for me,
Yeah.
sometimes I think I understand something,
Yeah.
but then when I try to explain it, you realize you don't.
Yeah. Oh, wait. I actually don't really get this.
You have these gaps in your knowledge that
Yeah.
you didn't even know were there.
And so it forces you to like
Forces you to confront them.
confront those gaps and really fill them
And then
in.
you really learn it.
Exactly. And I think there's something about learning from a peer
Yeah.
that's a little less intimidating
Oh, for sure.
than
Yeah.
learning from a teacher.
Oh, absolutely.
You're more likely to
Yeah.
ask those like dumb
The
questions.
so-called dumb questions.
Right.
Yeah.
And it just creates this like
Yeah.
sense of camaraderie.
Totally.
You know, like we're both in this together.
They're figuring it out together.
We're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
And so the excerpt talks about
Okay.
how all of these efforts really start to
Yeah.
pay off for Emma.
Oh.
She can write longer sentences.
Nah,
She can speak more clearly.
that's great.
She can understand more words.
It's all coming together.
It's like watching that house of knowledge
Yeah.
getting bigger
Getting bigger and stronger.
and stronger.
Yeah.
And it's not just about her own growth.
Okay.
She actually starts helping
Oh, wow.
her other classmates
I love that.
who are struggling with English.
That's amazing.
It's like she's taking those extra bricks.
She's paying it forward.
And she's
I love it.
sharing them
Yeah. That's what it's all about.
with others.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
the excerpt mentions how
Okay.
Emma's parents are really proud of her.
Of course they are.
And her mom says,
What does she say?
"You've worked so hard, Emma.
Oh,
Keep it up."
so sweet.
And I think that's so important
So is.
to remember that,
Yeah.
learning isn't just about individual effort.
Yeah.
It's about
Having a support system.
having a support system
Yeah.
and having those people who cheer you on
Who believe in you.
and believe in you
Who are there for you.
and remind you why you started in the first place.
Absolutely.
So as Emma's story so far illustrates
Yeah.
effective learning,
It's not just.
it's not just about textbooks and memorization.
No.
It's about embracing challenges,
Yeah.
seeking out support,
Mm-hmm.
and finding joy in the process of discovery.
Absolutely. And I think we're going to see
Yeah.
even more of that
Yeah.
in the next part of her story.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. We'll be right back.
So we're back and ready to hear the end of Emma's story.
Yeah. I'm really curious to see how it all wraps up.
Me too. And what I think is so interesting is that by the end of the school year,
Okay.
Emma isn't just speaking better English.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like her whole mindset has changed.
Oh, wow. In what way?
Well, the excerpt talks about how she's no longer afraid to
Okay.
try new things,
Oh, that's great.
even if it means making mistakes.
That's huge.
She seems to understand that those mistakes are part of the learning process.
It's all about that growth mindset.
Exactly.
That-
And it's not just limited to her language skills.
Okay.
Like, it seems like this newfound confidence
Mm.
is something that she can apply
Yeah.
to other areas of her life as well.
It bleeds into everything else.
Right, like trying a new recipe
Yeah.
or taking on a challenging project at work.
Totally.
It all becomes
Yeah.
a little less scary,
Less daunting.
less daunting.
Yeah.
And I think that's such a powerful...
It is. It's like that ripple effect.
Yeah. And one of the lines from the excerpts that really stuck with me
Yeah.
is when Emma says,
Okay.
"The more I practice, the better I get."
So simple, but so true.
It's so simple, but it's like
Yeah.
we often forget that.
We do.
Right?
We want those quick fixes.
We want the quick fix. We
Yeah.
want to be fluent in a language overnight.
Yeah.
But it's really those
Yeah.
consistent efforts,
It's the daily practice.
day after day,
That make the difference.
that really lead to those
Yeah.
long-term results.
Absolutely.
And I think Emma's story really shows us that.
It does.
So- As we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
I want to leave our listeners
Okay.
with a challenge.
I love a good challenge.
Think about that house of knowledge analogy.
Okay.
What's one small brick
Okay.
that you can lay today?
I like that.
What's one action
Yeah.
you can take, inspired by Emma's story,
Mhm.
to move closer
Okay.
to your own learning goals?
Love it.
It doesn't have to be something big.
Yeah.
It could be as simple as reviewing some notes
Mhm.
or reading an article about something you're interested in,
Yeah.
or even just having a conversation with someone
Absolutely.
about something new you're learning.
It all counts.
The important thing
Yeah.
is to keep that momentum going.
Keep building that house.
Keep building that house.
Yeah.
Because as Emma's story shows us,
Yeah.
with effort and practice
And
and patience, you can achieve amazing things.
absolutely.
So thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, this is fun.
We'll be back next time
All right. See you then.
with another fascinating exploration of knowledge and ideas.